Welcome to this special live broadcast of The Nest, so you can get to know some of our ASB candidates. My name is Colin Amaro, and I'm one of your Chief Justices this year. I'd like to take a minute to introduce the other justices. Quincy and Yubi are our freshman justices. Kayla and Lily are our sophomore justices. Graki is our junior justice. Maria is the other junior justice but could not be here today. And Isabel is the other senior justice but is also not able to be here today. As justices, one of our main jobs is to run all the elections and ensure that they are a fair and equitable process. We are here today to introduce the candidates and ask them a few questions. Our first two are running unopposed, so we will just give them a few minutes to introduce themselves and explain why they are running for office. Please welcome Anna Cheng, ASB Corresponding Secretary, and Janice Kim, ASB Recording Secretary.
Hi, my name is Janice Kim, and I'm running for Recording Secretary. I am currently a sophomore senator, and I wanted to run for this position because I wanted to do more whole school related projects. I'm excited for the upcoming year. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Anna Cheng, and I'm running for Corresponding Secretary this year. I am a junior, and I've been a sophomore senator, and I am currently the Recording Secretary. I want to serve as a communication bridge at Shorewood next year, so this is why I'm running for this position. Thank you.
Thank you both. At this time, we are going to make another quick scene change and bring out our next candidates. Neither one of our treasurer candidates can be here today. Both Eric Etzgard and Sean Santos are away at the DECA competition. You will be able to hear from them at the assembly on Monday. So next up, we'd like to bring up our vice president candidates, Nico Christensen and Jonathan Holdridge. The VP's main job is to run student council meetings, but is also a key partner for the president in working on social events. Please welcome Nico and Jonathan.
Hi, my name's Jonathan, and I am running for the ASB Vice President position, currently a junior, and will be a senior next year.
Hello, my name is Nicholas Christensen. I'm currently the class of 2020 senator, and I am also running for ASB Vice President.
The justices have come up with a few questions, and we'll alternate between the two of you for answering first. First, let's start with Nico. What is the most important lesson you've learned at your time at Shorewood, and how would you apply this lesson to your role as Vice President?
I think that the most important lesson I've learned throughout my days at Shorewood would be learning to be vulnerable, because sometimes you really have to put yourself out there, whether it be showing spirit or just taking care of a friend.
Jonathan, same question to you.
I think the most important lesson that I've learned at Shorewood has been being able to take advice and criticism from other people and take that with an open heart so that I can improve myself in the future.
Okay, so for the next question, we're going to start with Jonathan. If you could make one positive change to our school's environment, what would it be and why?
If I could make one change, it would probably be the community. I feel that although Shorewood has an amazing community already, there are still a lot of people who feel left out from this community. I hope to improve that through more school spirit, through sports teams, and hopefully more class competitions.
Personally for me, I think that a lot of the times when we go to school every day, we get caught up in our process of just going to each class. And I want to make something kindness, something that we strive for every day. And that could be something as simple as just holding the door for someone, because it can really mean a lot and make someone's day.
Okay, for the next question, we're going to go to Nico again. How do you plan on listening to and integrating the opinions of your peers for your platform?
Okay, so I think it's really important as vice president, we're going to be running student councils a lot. And when people come to me, I'd like to be able to integrate it into the document that we use and then talk about it as a group at the student council and then find new ways to bring that information to SEC students as well, because I think that's really important and they're getting left out a lot.
I think that, as Nico said, vice president is kind of a long, like a language and kind of communication person. And so through student council, it's really important that you communicate fully with the student body. And so I would focus through student council on hearing your guys' opinions and having the people who are in student council get those opinions from you so that we can talk about it as a group and make changes so that you guys all feel welcomed.
And final question, we're going to start with Jonathan. If you were a kitchen utensil, what would you be and why?
I would be a knife, because the knife can do pretty much every job that every other utensil can do.
I would probably be a spork, just because it's kind of fun, You try to be outgoing, you try to do your best at everything. Even though you're not quite the perfect utensil for everything, you try your best at all times, and you're trying to have some fun and help others.
Thank you both. You're both outstanding candidates. We're now going to make our final scene change and bring out our ASB president candidates, Stephen Lin and Max Luthi, running for ASB president. The ASB president is an extremely important role in this school. They represent all students on various subjects and district committees, as well as head several school events and assemblies. This job is huge. Please welcome Stephen and Max to the table.
Hi, my name is Max Luthi. I'm currently serving as an ASB officer as corresponding secretary. I'm running for ASB president.
Hello, I'm Stephen Lin. I'm a junior. I'm currently a junior senator, and I'm running for ASB president as well.
For the first question, we're going to start with Stephen. Why do you want to run for the presidential position?
I've always wanted to be president here. My grandfather was the vice principal here. My mom and uncle were ASB officers here. I grew up coming to all the events here. I love Shorewood, and I want to make it a place where people feel like they belong and are welcomed here. Every day I notice people who do not have the desire to be here, and I want them to be a part of the Shorewood family. I think names are crucial as a leader. I remember walking down the hall and having a senior come to me and was like, "Stephen, are you coming to the game tonight?" This conversation made me feel special. I had no clue this senior even knew me. It is up to us at Shorewood, as a Shorewood leadership team, to know your name and get to know you and know your passions. There are so many opportunities to become involved in Shorewood, ranging from athletics to academic clubs. By being your ASB president, I will make these aspirations a reality and truly be the person that welcomes you into this school. I want to know your name and know your passion. This summer, I went on a leadership health journey to Indonesia, and the slogan of the trip was "Be the Change." And I fully believe that as your president, we will work together to be that change.
Same question to you, Max.
Thank you, Stephen. So I completely agree with Stephen. One of the most important things we can do right now at Shorewood is rebuild the culture. There's a culture of people who are coming to school and not enjoying it. There are some people who go the entire day without hearing their name. And I think that's unacceptable, that these people can be coming to school and not having that enjoyable experience that I have. I've gotten to come to Shorewood, and when I first started going here, I really did not enjoy going to Shorewood, and it was through the differences that these seniors and these upperclassmen reaching out to me and building relationships with me. And it was through those relationships that I began to go to events. I began to become involved. I ran for sophomore senator, and then through that, I eventually ran for the ASB position I'm serving in now. And through that, I've learned that Shorewood is a wonderful place, and all it takes is someone reaching out to you, building a relationship with someone. So I want to be, as ASB president, the person that can build these relationships. And I don't want to just build these relationships with me. I want to build relationships with the students and each other, students and me, students and teachers, students and the school in general. And through these relationships, I think everyone can find a place that makes them happy, that makes them feel like they belong, and just overall turn Shorewood into a much more positive environment of kindness and love and acceptance.
Okay, next question. We're going to start with Max. Who is your role model? What have you learned from him or her?
That's a wonderful question. I have a lot of role models. One of my biggest role models was my freshman year. There was a senior named Alan Se Wong. He was actually the former corresponding secretary. Alan Se Wong was a senior who took advantage of every opportunity possible to do something kind. When I was a freshman, I joined cross country. Cross country season starts before school does. So I hadn't really met anyone from Shorewood yet, and I was running, and it was like 90 degrees out or something, and I was just absolutely dying, right? I haven't run all summer, and I was in the back of the pack. Alan Se Wong was a faster runner, but he chose to run with me that day, and because of that, he showed me, because of that act of kindness, that small thing he did to me, he radically changed my experience at Shorewood because I stuck with cross country, and that ended up being one of my greatest decisions because through sticking with cross country, I built all these friendships that I never would have otherwise, and I was encouraged to join leadership and become involved at Shorewood. And thanks to Alan Se Wong, I have become this person, and because of that, sometimes when I'm in a difficult situation, I just think, what would Alan Se Wong do? Because I always know that Alan Se Wong does the right thing.
For me, that's a great response, Max. For me, my role model is my grandfather. He's just been that rock solid guy, my cornerstone in life, and he was the vice president here. He's been in many leadership positions, ranging from athletic director to principal to my grandfather, and he taught me one important component, which is empathy, and I feel like empathy truly embodies a leader, and sometimes I walk around the school and I want to try and fit myself in other people's shoes and see myself through their eyes so I can ultimately be the change, like I said in my previous response. And as a vice president of SIRE, a president of Einstein, a president of SIRE, I took this into account and empathy and really put it toward everyone else in the school.
Next question, we're going to start with Stephen. What do you believe is the most important quality in a leader and why?
Like I said, empathy, but also there are many more, like honesty, compassion, grit. But I think empathy mainly is the key virtue of a leader.
Yeah, I think one of the most important qualities in a leader is the leader truly understanding what good leadership is, and that the best leaders lead from behind, for example. So there's this idea of servant leadership, where if I really want to lead you and to maybe coming to a short event, getting involved, building more relationships like I had, I won't do that by standing in front of you and telling you to go to these events. I'll do this by telling my friends, say, hey, there's this kid who's also interested in astronomy. Maybe you should talk to him and have him come to your astronomy club. Or maybe I'll talk to the kid myself and I'll tell him, hey, you want to come to this basketball game with me? And it's just that through those simple actions that build relationships, that form of servant leadership is what is the most important quality in a leader, and that you're able to serve the community instead of just stand as a figurehead and not really make those necessary changes that truly revolutionize not just the people, but the whole culture at Shorewood.
Okay, final question, we're going to start with Max. What is an obstacle you overcame, and what did you learn through that experience?
That's a good question. I've had a lot of obstacles in my life. One of my largest obstacles recently was actually deciding to run for this position. For up until about January, I struggled with the idea of whether or not I'm running because I want to be ASB president, and I think that I do want to be ASB president. I think it's going to be super fun and super cool. But I also struggled with, do I just want it because it'll make me feel good, or do I want it because I know I'll do a good job? And through the weeks leading up to the ASB election, I decided to myself that I think I would do a wonderful job as ASB president, and I am 100% qualified, and I started coming up with my plans and ideas, and it took a long time to overcome that obstacle in my mind, but I'm very glad that I have come to this position where I truly believe I can do an incredible job helping Shorewood.
Thank you, Max. I think one challenge I overcame was freshman year when I was deciding whether to play basketball, swim, or stick with tennis and track. And I think I had to take into account all the benefits and all the drawbacks from doing one or the other, and eventually came up with the one with the most benefits. And I feel like as president, I can be that benefit for you and really listen to you and just soak up all your information and then apply it to daily life.
Thank you both. This is going to be a very exciting campaign with 2 qualified candidates. On Monday, you will hear from all our candidates at the assembly during SAS. They are all preparing their official speeches that they will present at that assembly. Voting will take place on Tuesday during SAS with paper ballots. Please remember to use a number 2 pencil. Students without a SAS class can vote in the activity office until the end of lunch on Tuesday. Voting is an important tool built to allow your voice to be heard. Therefore, now is a great time to start getting into the habit of sharing your opinion. Please take the time to thoughtfully vote on these wonderful candidates. Thank you for listening.